Good evening and welcome inside Belk Arena for the final game of a busy day of hoops here on the Erskine campus. Our third and final game of the day in the opening round of the 2026 Conference Carolinas Men's Basketball Developmental Championships between Erskine and Belmont Abbey. A winner earns a spot in sometime later on the championship round on Belmont Abbey's campus. As the tip-off goes out of play, it'll belong to the Fleet. That date of the championship, or the semifinals and the finals, played on the same day, still to be determined because of the weather that moved these three games back a couple of days, along with the other three first-round sites of this year's tournament, as Cam Moss threw it away on the first possession for Erskine. The Fleet 61-45 winners in Game 2 to earn their spot. And then Belmont Abbey won Game 1, 74-62. So winner take all between the Crusaders and the Fleet. Erskine trying to retain its Conference Carolinas men's basketball developmental crown for the third straight year. A 3 on the way for Bishop Sanders offline. And Belmont Abbey looking to go back home and play at the Wheeler Center for the semifinals of the tournament. Still waiting on our first points of the night. Crusaders moving it around. Over the head pass to the corner. A 3 on the way for Hernandez. Rebound tapped around. It falls to Devontae. Jordan Durant tees it up and sticks a straight on 3 to open the scoring. Jordan Durant had 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. A very efficient first game for Durant, and he gets the scoring started. Moss is fouled. The hoop and the harm for Cam Moss, who led the Fleet just a couple of minutes ago in their 61-45 win. Moss had 16 points, made 3 threes to lead the way for the Fleet, who won a slugfest over Belmont Abbey. It's a defensive clinic put on by this Erskine team in their first game. Moss free throw too strong. And a rebound for Bishop Sanders. Throw ahead. Durant ahead of the pack. The Fleet lazy, getting back off the missed free throw. And 5 quick ones for Jordan Durant. Markel Crothers walks into a 3. Rebound tapped around. Hernandez comes away with it. Durant, extra pass. DeMarbia's Devontae couldn't control the dribble. One of 4 first-round sites here this week. And the next this version of the Conference Carolinas Men's Basketball Championships is Raquavian Jones' 3 is offline. That pass kicked by White. What will be interesting for both teams really is the layoff or lack thereof between games. This Belmont Abbey team played the first game, so they were done at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. This Erskine team just finished their first game. Whole idea of rest versus rust. Which one would you rather have? As Hernandez lines it up and sticks a 3. Cesar Hernandez had 6 points in the first game. That's his first 3 of the day. Moss attacks, hangs, couldn't finish, got his own rebound, tried to get it out, it goes deflected. Good hands by Parker. Hernandez, good defense by Moss. And Sanders will reset. 8-2 start for Belmont Abbey, trying to knock off the reigning champions. Devontae wills his way down, lost a handle. It fell to Parker. Extra pass, Sanders from the wing, off the front rim. Long rebound, back to Hernandez. Step through, scoop shot wouldn't go. Pretty move from Cesar Hernandez, just couldn't lay it in. of a stagnant start, I think, for both teams. Carleton's take comes up short. Good defense from the Crusaders. Hernandez walks into a three. And the rebound for Jones. Right on cue. Pace has started to pick up. Moss almost banked in a three. Took 12 threes in the first game. Fleetwood late stopping the ball, and Parker's fouled. 15:59 to go in this first half. That would normally send us to a media timeout. No media timeouts, though, in this developmental tournament. Does mean each team gets an extra full timeout. So you get 4 fulls and 2 30s, but the only stoppages come from coaches. Subs for both teams. Jody Gillum in. Camden Earls for the Fleet. And then for Belmont Abbey, Jaden Desir, Britt Beasley, Jonathan Banks, the 3 subs for the Crusaders. Beasley, Durant's had the hot start and hits another one from the corner. Gillum with an up fake. Catching traffic for White, had it ripped away. Belmont Abbey's interior defense has been really solid to start the day. Durant passes up the 3 this time, puts it on the deck, little scoop shot, and he's fouled. Jordan Durant playing with a lot of confidence. And he earns a trip to the free throw line. First free throw missed by Durant, as that's Quintel Johnson checking in for the Fleet, along with Camise Wilson. Second free throw falls through, and a double-digit lead, a 12-2 run out of the gates for Belmont Abbey. I suppose the rest paying dividends. Nice cut by Gillum and a finish for Jody Gillum. Freshman from Orangeburg, Jody Gillum. Beasley, an open 3. He got it. Britt Beasley gets on the board. Belmont Abbey raiding 3s in the early stages. Earls looking for the answer and has it. Camden Earls, 11 points in the first game, gets on the board there, and then Belmont Abbey a little out of control in the press break, and they give it right back. Jose Villanueva in for the Crusaders, and Christian Hester comes in for the Fleet. Hester did all he could. Was really good in the first game for the Fleet. Had 23 points. Clock at 10 as Hester gets it back. He's going to have to do it himself. Hester, little up fake, scoop shot, a finish. Pretty from Christian Hester. Freshman from Jefferson, Georgia. Been with the varsity team throughout the year, but he's only played sparingly. He has an innate ability to get to the rim. Sidestep 3, rebound by Beasley. Flip shot by Villanueva, and he pulled a string on it. Hester a little out of control, finds Johnson. Earls tees it up. And Sanders skies for the rebound. And he can rip the other way. In a hurry, spins out. (15-9). Belmont Abbey has led every step of the way in the first 7 minutes. Earls tried to force the contact. Good defense by Banks just to give ground. Sanders dump off to Sear with a lay-in. The Crusaders turn defense into offense and extend their lead. Earls tries again. That one spins out. The box out by Hester. Had his shot blocked by Sanders. Heck of a recovery. Bishop Sanders, a scoop shot by Desir wouldn't fall. Now this game's starting to find its flow. Earls, another open look. That time he hits. A nice job by Camden Earls. He missed the first couple. A little sidestep three. Let's see if just seeing it go through helps get Camden going. Beasley catch and shoot. Rebound tapped around. Earls comes away with it. You see a lot of tired legs out there right now. Earls all the way, lays it in with a finger roll. And a timeout taken by Belmont Abbey. Both teams probably needed one. And the Crusaders will use just a 30-second timeout. We'll step aside back in 30 on the Erskine Sports Network. Back here inside Belk Arena, Ben Otten with you on the Erskine Sports Network. A couple of quick points for the Fleet to get back within 3. Villanueva picked up his dribble, finds Beasley. Little no-look pass to Villanueva, and he is fouled. That was smooth from Britt Beasley, and it will earn Jose Villanueva couple of free throws. 5 points in the opener for Villanueva, a couple of free throws. In 12 minutes of action, first one strong. Neither one of these teams have shot the ball well from the free throw line in general today. I don't think we've had a team shoot over 70% from the foul line. Villanueva splits the pair. Moss and Crothers back in for the Fleet. This is Markel Crothers. The Fleet having to work on the perimeter here. Crothers step back 3. Rebound falls for Durant, and then a foul away from the ball. I think they're going to get Tyler White, or are they going to get Villanueva? He was the one that ended up on the ground. Good sportsmanship there from Villanueva to check on Tyler White. Although, like I said, Jose was the one that ended up laying on his back and gets tagged for the foul. Swing to the corner, and Villanueva must have reached over the baseline. So just a delay of game warning. If it happens again in any way of a delay of game for Belmont Abbey, it'll be a technical foul. Jones off target on the 3. I think worth considering, though, because those can come in a lot of different ways, and you only get one warning as an entire team. Villanueva on the other end hangs and finishes. A smile on the face of Jose Villanueva as he comes back down the floor. He's been involved. Durant gets his hand in the passing lane, ahead of the defense with a finger roll. 4 quick ones for the Crusaders to get their lead back to 8. Crothers, offensive foul. White was standing there trying to be a nuisance, but just continued to move as he made contact with a Belmont Abbey defender. Earl's back in for the Fleet, along with DJ Douglas. Just about to the halfway point of this first half. Durant has been feeling it. Good look. Boss puts it on the deck. Now he's got to find somewhere to go with it. Earls attacks. Couldn't finish with a left. Rebound Hernandez. Earls tried to come from behind. Hernandez alert to it. Durant tries again. Still getting good looks, and that's a foul on the rebound. They're going to get Earls for the foul, his first, as Dasani Parker returns for Belmont Abbey. 15 foul on the Fleet. Durant. Rebound Douglas. If you're wondering, there was supposed to be a consolation game. This is supposed to be the time slot for that game between the two losers of the first game. Both coaches kind of decided after the second game to just skip the consolation game. That helps Belmont Abbey in terms of their travel, getting home at a decent hour when they get back to Belmont later on tonight, not having to wait until it would have been about 8:30 probably, maybe even 9 before they would have laid it in, and a foul before they would have got home, excuse me, as Crothers is fouled. Subs for Erskine, Key Hendricks, Nick Gent, both in for the first time. (24-14). Belmont Abbey. Earls. Got it back, almost lost it. Still time. Douglas lost the handle. Desir, throw ahead. Hernandez showing off his speed. Ball fake. Finds Villanueva, lays it in. Calm under pressure from Cesar Hernandez. Earls, catch and shoot. Durant wide open, lays it in, and the Fleet need a timeout. Largest lead of the first half for Belmont Abbey, 28-14 as we step aside on the Erskine Sports Network. Back here inside Belk Arena, Belmont Abbey has doubled up the Fleet with a spot in the semifinals of the Conference Carolinas Developmental Men's Basketball Championship on the line. Another deflection from the Crusaders. Gillum, good defense by Parker. Hester, not much of a shooter just yet. He's going to have to go. 5 on the timer. Heavy crossover, hangs, and he's fouled. And Christian Hester's just a handful at the end of the shot clock. Such a quick first step. And he'll go to the free throw line. 7 of 9 from the foul line in the first game. Makes the first. Bishop Sanders back in for the Crusaders. Jordan Durant will get a break. Hester makes both. That will allow the Fleet to set up their pressure, but Erskine will just back up instead. That's really good awareness by Bishop Sanders. Make sure he was in the front court before he caught the ball. Villanueva tries a 3, too strong. Hester all of the way. 4 quick ones for Christian Hester. Parker, pocket pass, Villanueva the lay-in. What a find from Dasani Parker. And Jose Villanueva has been a spark off the bench in this first half. Out top, Gilliam, a really good shooter, hits it. Jody Gillum hit a couple of threes in his first game of the day. 13 points overall. Swing, Hernandez, line drive, 3 is down. The answer for Cesar Hernandez. Wilson hangs, and he is fouled. He was going for the dunk, and Dasani Parker was not about to let that happen. Free throws for Kambisa Wilson, redshirt sophomore from Kingstree, South Carolina. Spent a couple of years on the Erskine football team, and now in the basketball program. You watch him play, you can see the wide receiver skills translate onto the hardwood. Devontae and Desir back in for Belmont Abbey. And one more free throw for Wilson. Who makes the second, he'll come out. Tyler White back in. Cross-court pass. Desir tried to save it. He couldn't. That's happened to Belmont Abbey a couple of times over the course of the day. It's interesting. You watch this Erskine developmental team play, coached by Mark Peeler, who coaches the varsity as well. You could see some of the similarities, particularly on the defensive end, the way they really pack it in as Gillum hits another 3. Fleet back within 8. So as a result of that compact defense, that skip pass will be there more times than not. But it's a difficult pass to make. Belmont Abbey's turned it over on that pass a couple of times. Hernandez, fall away is pure. Cesar Hernandez had just 6 points in 14 minutes in the first game of the day. He's been really good in this first half. Crothers elevates and answers back. Both offenses starting to find their flow. Hernandez. It's White switched on to him. Gets it back from Parker. He'll try a three. So nice job by Tyler White just to stay in front of Hernandez. And that pass too tall from Crothers. Looking for White, and the Fleet give it right back. Hernandez, pass deflected. It came off of Hester last. And it'll stay with Belmont Abbey. 18 on the shot clock. Sanders sticks a three off the out of bounds underneath. First three of the day for Bishop. Sanders. Crothers walks into a triple of his own. Rebound, Gilliam, and he's fouled. And Jody Gilliam, only 6 feet, $160. Found his way towards the offensive glass and earns a trip to the free throw line. Cam Moss back in for the Fleet, and Britt Beasley returns for the Crusaders. Gilla misses both. This first half looking reminiscent of the first half this Belmont Abbey team played earlier today. They outscored Erskine 42-24 in the opener. Lead was as big as 20, might have even been 21 or 22. Tie up. Desir and Johnson had their hands on it. Arrow will stay with Belmont Abbey, just 6 on the shot clock. Desir into Devontae, turns over his right shoulder, blocked by White. That pass, was it touched on the way through? It was not. I think that was Desir. That's a great play by Jaden Desir because Moss cut back door. And Desir just put himself right between Moss and where the ball was going to force the turnover. They'd have had a handful of those in this first half. Part of the reason why they're looking up at an 11-point deficit. Beasley, wide open, spins out. Hester pushing the pace. Pass a little behind Moss. Johnson lines it up. And a rebound by Justin Animeja. In for the first time. Devontae, offensive foul. He used that off arm to try to create some space. Referee right on top of it. Crusaders have led by double figures for most of this first half. Feels like a big 2 minutes here for both teams. Momentum hanging in the balance. Moss, a good look at a three. He hits it. Ended up on the floor. Wanted a foul. Wasn't called. A triple for Cam Moss. Belmont Abbey in no particular hurry. Beasley, pass, turned over. Good hands by Gilliam. Hester crossed over. Was able to pick it up. Now he's got to find somewhere to go with it. Tried to get it to White, who just barely saves it and then throws it away. Parker with the interception and is fouled by Johnson. Might not be the worst foul, though, by Quintel Johnson, all things considered. Just the 6th team foul, and it stops what would have been a Belmont Abbey fast break. Double screen out top. Sanders. Good hand by Moss. Pick the pocket the other way. Long steps. Good defense by Sanders. Hester had it ripped away. Parker comes out of the pack. Beasley stops, and he traveled. Tried to hold his pivot foot with the contact coming. And it was just a case of which came first. Swing, Moss wide open, can't hit, good hit, rebound, Earls, and the putback for Camden Earls, 38-32, about a 7-second differential between shot and game clock. If the Fleet can secure a rebound, they might be able to get one more shot before the end of the half. Parker, poke from behind, good hand from Hester, ahead of the defense. Off the window, wouldn't fall. It'll go out of bounds. It came off of Sanders with 6 seconds left. A frustrating one for Christian Hester. Looked like he was gonna have an easy layup. Sanders just did enough. Chase Carlton back in for this final offensive possession. Inbound to Hester. He's going to have to go quick. Step through, fouled. Didn't look like he realized how much time there was for a second. Might have just been in total control, though, as the foul goes on Parker, his second, and 2 free throws for Christian Hester with 1.4 seconds left in this first half. I said at about the 2-minute mark it was going to be a big last couple of minutes in this first half. The Fleet were trailing by 12 at that point. A free throw here from Hester would get it down to 4 as he makes it. And Belmont Abbey will have to go really quick here. Inbound. Sanders won't count anyway. And a nice close to the half from the Fleet. Belmont Abbey led every step of the way in that first half, and they take it into the break 38-34 on the Erskine Sports Network. Belmont Abbey led for most of the first half. Had as big as a 14-point advantage at one stage, but a strong close to the half for the Fleet to get back within 4 as we get back underway. A dangerous pass. It got through to Crothers. White, sidestep 3, and a rebound for Sanders. 15 first half points for Jordan Durant to lead the way. They came early for Durant, who's on the ball right now. He got the Crusaders off to a fast start. Belmont Abbey did not look back. Sanders turns the corner. Awkward angle. Fight for it. He comes away with it. Shot clock did not reset, so it's at 8 as Sanders gets it back. Hernandez going to have to create. Hands off for Desir. Got it off. Follow no good by Durant. Wanted a foul. Now behind the play. Hester all the way with an easy lay-in. The Fleet pick up right where they left off. They're back within 2, closest Erskine has been in a while. They did not lead at all in the first half. Durant picks up right where he left off. Another 3, his 3rd of the game. He's got 18 already, Jordan Durant. Jones blows by his defender and lays it in. Raquavian Jones, the freshman from Warrenton, Georgia, with his first points. It's a little too easy. Especially as the second half wears on, though. You do have to consider some tired legs out there. All these guys playing their second game of the day. Hernandez from way back. Rebound Durant, and he sticks it back in. Good effort from DeMarviez Devontae. Desir got popped reaching in for that ball. Slow getting back. Crothers, the open man, can't take advantage. Good to see Desir back up to his feet. Throw ahead, Sanders. Nice catch by Bishop. Sanders trying to create an angle, could not do so, and the whistle goes. It was a little late from that referee on the baseline. Almost one of those ones where I think he was going to let it go if Sanders had made the shot. Instead, 2 free throws for Bishop Sanders, his first of the entire day. Had 3 points, 3 assists in the first half. Bishop Sanders, Belmont Abbey shared the ball really well in the opening period. 13 assists on 15 made shots. Camise Wilson, Cam Moss, and Camden Earls all back in. Earls was the Fleet's leading scorer in that first half, 10 points in just 8 minutes off the bench. Wilson, not much of a shooter from out there. Picked up his dribble, finds Moss. Shot clock at 7. Crothers had it ripped away by Desir. Push ahead, and the finish for Jaden Desir. His second bucket, and a lead just like that, back to 9 for Belmont Abbey. Hester attacks, couldn't finish. Follow Wilson, and he's fouled. Sanders disagrees, but picks up the foul. And free throws for Camise Wilson. 1 for 2 from the line in his first trip. Moss out, and Jody Gillum takes his spot. Offensive rebound for Hester off the missed free throw. Crothers, a little trouble on the catch, but gathers and hits the 3. So a 4-point possession for the Fleet to get back within 5. Sanders, Durant, catch and shoot. You just hold your breath every time he takes an open three. The way he has shot it in this one. Signed on Earls here, doing a nice job staying in front. Crothers, pocket picked by Hernandez the other way. And fouled, and the bucket for Cesar Hernandez. An excellent job just taking his time. Against Carruthers, who picks up his second foul. He'll come out, Quintel Johnson back in. Double figures now for Hernandez. And one free throw. Got a nice friendly touch off the back rim. Hester probing, free layup too strong. Numbers the other way. Hernandez lays it in, and the lead back to double figures for Belmont Abbey. Give the Crusaders some credit. Fleet made their push. And in the last couple of minutes of the first half, first couple of minutes of the second half, Belmont Abbey has answered the call. Rebound for Devontae. Hernandez looking for Devontae. Pass deflected out of bounds off of Johnson. Dasani Parker and Alex Eimer will check in when we come back. 14:45 to go on the Erskine Sports Network. Nine seconds left on the shot clock for Belmont Abbey. Parker, Durant hoists, and a rebound for Wilson, and then he's fouled. Foul goes on Eimer. Earls shoots over Durant and left it short. Rebound tapped around. It falls into the hands of Parker. Parker passed up the three. Sanders will try. Fight for the rebound, and it'll go back to the Fleet. Fleet just looked a little stagnant in the half court. Johnson grateful that ball stayed close to him. I don't think he was expecting the pass. Late clock again. Gillum had picked up his dribble. Wilson trying to create himself, and good defense again by Belmont Abbey. Parker, the lefty, sticks the three. First points for Dasani. Parker, and Erskine needs a timeout. Belmont Abbey with their largest lead of the second half. 13:04 to go on the Erskine Sports Network. A nice run for Belmont Abbey as we get back underway. Gent, Douglas, White, and Carlton all in for the Fleet. In search of another run to get back into it. That shot partially blocked, and then Douglas went over the back on Sanders. And we'll pick up the foul. And make no mistake about it, though. The reason for this scoring run for Belmont Abbey is the job they've done on the defensive end. I suppose part of that's taking care of the ball because the Fleet have had transition opportunities. There's transition for Durant, who gets a lay-in. I think he's got 20 now, Jordan Durant. Trying to book his team's spot back on their home floor in the semifinals. Gent, a little out of control. Throw ahead, Sanders 2-on-1, behind the back pass, Hernandez lays it in, and Belmont Abbey feeling it now. Largest lead of the night for the Crusaders with just 12 minutes to go. Douglas will try a three. Rebound tapped out to Durant. The numbers again. Hernandez pushing the pace again. Recovery by White, who got the block, but a foul underneath. It'll go on Douglas. Cesar Hernandez took a second to catch his breath. Well-deserved break there, though. He has been pushing the tempo throughout the course of this game. Makes the first free throw. He's having an excellent floor game, Cesar Hernandez. Between him and Durant, those two have carried the load on the offensive end for the most part. Out top, Douglas tries again. Nice rebound by White to earn another possession for the Fleet. Carlton elevates and couldn't finish off the glass. It just spun out. There's a lid on the goal right now for the Fleet. Had this all the way back within 2 in the early stages of the second half. And Belmont Abbey has just strung it back out. Hernandez from the corner. Why not? It's been his day. Cesar Hernandez extends the lead to 21. Carlton offline. on the free throw jumper. Hernandez gets it back. What a find. Villanueva, he was a spark in the first half off the bench. Rebound Hernandez, blocked by White. And for Belmont Abbey, it was Jordan Durant early. Carlton tries from the corner. The Fleet have just gone cold from the outside. It was Durant early to get things started for Belmont Abbey. And in this second half, it has been almost all Cesar Hernandez trying to draw a charge. No foul. Might be a little gimpy getting back to his feet. Crothers, good hustle to save it. Carlton is fouled. Good hustle from Markel Crothers. And it will earn Chase Carlton a couple of free throws. New 5 ready to come in for the Fleet. And Coach Mark Peeler, assistant coach Jenkins Peeler looking for a spark. Hester, Moss, Hendricks, Jones, all back in, and then Camise Wilson still at the table. Beasley, Eimer, and Desir all back in for Belmont Abbey. As Carlton makes both, Wilson will take his spot, and the Fleet will pick up full court. Trying to speed this game up. Desir, catch and shoot. Good box out by Jones. Hester on the attack, and he's fouled. Landed awkwardly, but back up to his feet. More free throws for Christian Hester. He was plus 15 and 10 minutes off the bench in the first half. Make it 5 for 5 from the free throw line now for Hester. There's his first miss. Villanueva, a little out of control, but he's going to go to the free throw line. The foul will go on Jones. One of those ones where I'm sure the Belmont Abbey coaching staff was just kind of holding their breath as Villanueva started to get out of control. But it worked out in the end. Misses both free throws. 63-45. This is Key Hendricks. Hester probing underneath, pass deflected. The Fleet are bunched up in that left corner now. Wilson had it poked from behind. Good hand from Parker. Behind the defense, lays it in. That is an excellent job from Dasani Parker, just lurking behind Wilson. And as soon as the pass came to him, just reached his hand in there to get the steal. Hendricks, a high arcing three. Rebound, run down, and Jones, nice job saving it off of Beasley. We keep it on this end. Dion Lieveld in for the first time for Belmont Abbey. And Wilson going to get called for an over the back. Does allow the Fleet to set up their pressure, though. And a turnover. Hester intercepts and lays it in. Throw it right into that corner again. Parker breaks it this time. Lieveld with a lay-in. That's the risk you run with that pressure. Wilson on the other end. Good recovery by Lieveld. Hendricks off target, and it came off Hester last. Well, the game's getting a little sped up, probably more so than Belmont Abbey would like, but still a 20-point cushion for the Crusaders. We'll get Bishop Sanders back in to help handle this pressure. Desir on the attack. Jones able to come away with it. Pushing the other way. Nobody stopped the ball, and Raquavian Jones lays it in. And now Belmont Abbey will wisely just run some clock. Too early to just go into complete see-it-out mode if you're Belmont Abbey, but you can at least run the clock down every now and then. With this commanding lead, Villanueva, that hit the top of the backboard. It was out of bounds. This has just felt exactly like a carbon copy of the first game this Belmont Abbey team played. White and Crothers back in for Erskine. It was a 74-62 Belmont Abbey win. They led by as many as 25 at one stage in that one. Erskine made a push late, but it was just too little too late in the end. I suppose the one difference is Erskine made their push a lot earlier in this game. Had some real game pressure put on Belmont Abbey about the 15-minute mark of the second half as Crothers lays it in. But Belmont Abbey has just stretched it back out. That pass intercepted by Gillum. A ball fake and had it blocked by Desir. Jaden Desir atones for his errant pass just a moment ago. And a trio of starters back in for Belmont Abbey. And Hernandez, Durant, and Devontae. Hester backing down Durant, and it came off of a Crusader last. Good help defense by DeMarby as Devontae digging in there. Gillum, a dribble into a three, put back by White. Sanders gets it ahead, and Devontae brings it across. And now Belmont Abbey will slow it down. Nice job handling the press on that occasion. Inside 6 minutes to go. Belmont Abbey has led every step of the way since the game's first bucket. Hernandez got it back. Around and in. Cesar Hernandez continues his excellent second half. That felt like a much-needed bucket just to stop a little bit of Erskine momentum. Jones off the heel. Start to wonder how much is left in the tank for the Fleet. This Erskine team will go very deep into its bench. The guys don't play a whole lot of minutes, but you expend so much energy getting back into the game, let alone it being your second game of the day, as Desir is fouled. Tyler White slow getting back to his feet as he picks up the foul. Desir makes the first. Quintel Johnson in for Raquavian Jones. The second one falls off. But Belmont Abbey 5 minutes away from knocking off the back-to-back reigning champions of this Conference Carolinas Men's Basketball Developmental Tournament. And if they can hold on, they'll go back home for the semifinals and final rounds. Hester flips it in, and then quick timeout taken by head coach Mark Peeler. 70-55, 4:40 to go on the Erskine Sports Network. .15 Belmont Abbey lead, 4:40 to go. And a winner-take-all game in this first round of the 2026 Conference Carolinas Men's Basketball Developmental Championships. Crusaders have led every step of the way. Durant. Sanders walks it back out with just 4 on the clock. Back to Durant. He'll try a 3. And a rebound for Gillum. Numbers for the Fleet if they push. Johnson, the open man in the corner, hits the 3. Back to 12. The Fleet have one more run in them to make things interesting down the stretch. They close the first half really strong. Can they do the same here? That's a dangerous pass. Gillum taps it away and hangs in. Couldn't lay it in. And Durant comes away with it. Desir did just enough to bother Gillum. Swing out top. Hernandez might have got away with it. Aaron elbow. And it came off of him last. It'll go back to the Fleet. Christian Hester got popped in the nose at some point in this one. He's got his right nostril plugged up right now. Out top, Johnson just hit from the other corner and sticks another one. Back-to-back threes for Quintel Johnson. But the Fleet are within 9. Not dead yet. It is hard to kill a champ. Cut off. Sanders finds an angle, but it spins out. Rebound falls to Gilliam. A tie-up between Hester and Hernandez, and those two need to be separated. I don't think Christian Hester was a fan of Hernandez just grabbing onto his arm. Hernandez is saying he was using his arm to fend off Hernandez. So now the referees are going to have to figure out what to do. It's just going to be a common foul on Cesar Hernandez. Nothing more as we get back underway. Crothers will try his luck, and a rebound for Hernandez. Wasn't a bad shot. May have been just a little bit quick if you're the Fleet, although in a 3-possession game, probably can't afford to pass up the first good shot. Desir drives, and he's fouled. And the foul will go on Quintel Johnson, his second, and Jaden Desir back to the free throw line. Missed the first. One more for Desir, trying to get it back to a four-possession game, and he does. Johnson's had the hot hand. Hester, good up fake, and lays it in. Got Desir up in the air, and it's back to 8. That's a dangerous pass. Nice catch by Sanders. That ball was in the air for a long time. Belmont Abbey just playing keep away right now. Don't want to foul now if you're the Fleet. Durant's wide open, and that might be the dagger. Jordan Durant has had a whale of a game, and that might be the one that sends Belmont Abbey to the semifinals. Gillum deflected off of Johnson, and it'll go back to Belmont Abbey. Jordan Durant started fast and might have just put the nail in the coffin. Hester playing center field, comes away with that. With just 1:10 to go. The Fleet need points quickly. Hester will try. Nobody on the offensive glass. Kind of gives you a sign of just how exhausted the Fleet are. That's another dangerous pass. And Hester almost got another steal. Inside 1 minute to go. Belmont Abbey was trying to get a quick timeout. Referee just put the ball down and started his 5-second count. Make the Crusaders get in a little bit of a hurry. But they are icing this thing out as White will just take the foul on Sanders. 1-1 for Bishop Sanders. Camden Earls set to check back in, along with Cam Moss to get some more shooting out there for the Fleet. Sanders makes the front end. He'll get one more. (76-63), 46 seconds left. Moss tries a three. Rebound tapped around. Durant comes away with it and then is fouled with 38.6 seconds left. Fitting that it ends in the hands of Jordan Durant. He and Cesar Hernandez have led the way. Durant in the first half, Hernandez in the second half. Those two have combined for probably over 40 points today as Durant makes the front end. Be interested to see the final box score at the conclusion of this one, just to see what those two finish with, because they have really been the two providers of offense. Hendricks, a contested three, rebound Devontae, and Fleet don't really seem interested in fouling. Shot clock still is turned on, but Belmont Abbey can just dribble this thing out. Are entitled to a shot if they would like, with the shot clock being about a second below the game clock. But it looks like Parker is just going to dribble it out. So the Fleet will have to inbound it, but their quest at a three-peat will come up short, and Belmont Abbey is going to come into Due West and earn a trip back home to the semifinals of the 2026 Conference Carolinas Men's Basketball Championship. Final score, Belmont Abbey 78, Erskine 63, and a congratulations to the Belmont Abbey Crusaders, who will await their next opponent for the semifinals coming up later this month. I would suggest following along probably on Conference Carolina's social pages, their website. I would imagine they will have a date confirmed for the semifinals and finals round at some point in the next couple of days. But for now, that's going to do it for us here on the Erskine Sports Network. For everybody else who helped bring you today's action, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, as Belmont Abbey victorious in the final round as they win the Erskine bracket of the 2026 Conference Carolinas Developmental Men's Basketball Championships. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody, and as always,